Hey everyone, Lion Roar here, and I'm back with another Gemstone Legends video, and this is part 2 of the mistakes that new players make. But first, if you haven't downloaded the game yet and started playing it, I've got good news because in the description of this video, they've provided me with a link for you and a code, #Lion#, that's going to let you start off on the right foot. In particular, they're going to give you 50 free summons and a bunch of gold and gems and things like that. So it's definitely worth it, especially if you want to be a free-to-play or cheap-to-play player. You're going to want to take advantage of that. Of course, you have to complete the tutorial first, and you're going to want to make sure to put the code in the global chat within 3 hours of downloading the game in order to get that free stuff. All right, I've already covered numbers 1 through 5 in part 1, so if you haven't seen that, you're going to want to go check that out. So I'm going to pick up with mistake number 6 here, which is missing the daily quest rewards. So if I click on my quests, you can see here that I've already completed today's daily quests. So along with the individual little quests, you get rewards, things like gold and XP and even cauldrons and some things like mana and health potions. So obviously that's really important. But the most important thing is when you complete all the daily quests, you get a guild check-in, a guild banner here, which is really important for your team because you get extra rewards on top of that the more people that use that to check in. And also this Titan key. Of course, there are other rewards here too, but these two in particular are important, the guild banner and the Titan key. So this allows you to hit the Titan twice or even more in a day. So the more damage you're doing, of course, the better rewards you get for that. So basically, completing the quest rewards leads to more rewards, which leads to more rewards. And you want to do that, obviously. Not only that, but you can't really complete the weekly rewards or the monthly rewards until you complete the daily rewards. So you can see in the weekly rewards, it says claim the rewards for completing all daily quests 7 times. And I'm at 5 out of 7 right now. So once I complete that, I'm going to get even better rewards. Gold scrolls, apples, which allow you to hit the Titan even more, big XP, and 4-star cauldrons. So you want to turn your 4-star heroes into 5-star heroes, you need to complete the weekly quests. To complete those, you need to complete the daily quests. And then look at the monthly rewards. I'm 1 away from completing the monthly reward and getting a platinum scroll. That's a guaranteed 4 or 5-star hero. You want that. And also a whole bunch of XP there, XP and gems. So you definitely want to be doing these. Don't miss these. It's helping your team out and it's helping you out massively. Mistake number 7 is ignoring equipment. I'm going to jump in here to show you the difference in my heroes based on the equipment that they have. Let's look at poor little Chloe here. She's got no equipment. She's a 4-star hero. She's a pretty good hero. Let's look at the base stats. I know it's probably small on the screen, so I'm going to read some of them out loud. But I want you to really take note of what these base stats are. They're pretty respectable for a 4-star hero, base stats. HP is 7,425. Speed is 97. And let's see, defense is 682. Attack is 668. All right, so I kind of jumped around there a little bit, but those are some of the most important stats that you're looking at there. Now, let's put some equipment on her and see how that increases. I'm going to put unleveled equipment on her. Let's go find just some basic stuff here. I'm going to put let's go with some resistance gear called Protector. I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put a helmet here on. And then I'm going to go find a shield. Let's do maybe defense now. So I'm going to pick maybe that shield. And then how about some gloves? I'm going to put these gloves on. And then we've got some life equipment here, which gives a boost to HP percent. So I'm going to take a quick look at the different things I have here. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to pick that cuirass. And for the boots, we've got an increase to attack or defense, among some other things, of course. I think I'll go with the attack percent there. Okay. All right. Do you remember the base stats that I just told you about? You can see, again, it's very small, but on the lower right-hand corner, you can see how the equipment, unleveled equipment, is already helping out the base stats. So now, the HP is going to be 3,360 higher. We're going to go above 10,000. In fact, approaching 11,000, which is really good. Attack is going up 222. Defense is going up 211. Speed is staying the same because I didn't put any equipment on that have speed, but speed is really important in this game. So if you have equipment that gives a boost to speed, you're going to want to do that. All right, let's go back. So that's how that increased. Now let's take a look at a hero of the same level, level 40, a maxed 4-star hero, but one that has equipment that's been leveled. Goymir. All right. So now Goymir, the equipment here is not maxed, but it's leveled up to level 12. Now you can see his HP is above 12,000. It's actually at like above 13,000, approaching 14,000. His speed is now 102 plus 19. So he's above 120 speed. The attack is huge. It's gone from 759 plus 231. So, you know, we're getting to 1,000 there. And then defense 711 plus 612. And that is a really, really big increase. In particular, because on this hero, I put this particular set of equipment called Guardian, which gives a big boost to defense. So that is why now the defense is at close to 14,000. It's at about 13,000 right now. So that's leveled equipment on a 4-star hero. You can see how much the equipment is playing into this. Now let's go look at a hero where it is fully decked out in equipment. I'll show you a couple of these actually. So we got a 5-star hero with equipment that's not completely maxed. In fact, we only have one piece of equipment here that's maxed, but look at the stats now on a 5-star hero with highly leveled equipment. The HP is, the base HP is 11,000, right? But it's getting a plus 18,451 boost because of the equipment, which puts her at over 30,000 HP, which is absolutely incredible. Speed is 99 plus 65. Attack is now base stat 1,201 plus 369. Defense is now 1,110 plus 512. These are a huge boost to this particular hero. And if I go back, I'm going to show you one more. We have a 6-star hero with some, again, highly leveled equipment. But here we have two pieces of equipment that are maxed out, the helmet and the shield, which are both at level 15. And now you can see, again, HP is at like 32,000. Speed is at like 107 plus 51. Attack is 1,501 plus 977. And defense is 1,611 plus 346. So you can see how important equipment is. What's the best way to get equipment? Well, I'm doing this right now because there's actually an event going on where equipment matters, and that's Zealous Collector. So the higher level equipment you gather, the more points you get for this, and of course you get rewards for that. So I'm going into the Rift, and I'm playing as high levels as I possibly can to get as highly rated equipment as I possibly can for that event. That's how you get good equipment. That's how you level the equipment up. You know, the higher stars, the better it's going to be. I have another video where I talk about equipment and what this means. The higher stars, the better it's going to be. And also the higher rarity, the better it's going to be. You want high rarity, high stars. The stars are actually not the rarity. The rarity is like legendary, epic, rare. I'll show you what I mean here. When I go back to Zarkon here, if it has a gold rim around it, that means it's legendary. So this piece of equipment right here, this weapon, that's legendary. In fact, all of the equipment on Zarkon is legendary right now. If I go to Gladiosa, you might see some epic. Yeah, see, you see some pink around the border? That is epic equipment. And then you also have rare equipment. Again, go watch my equipment video where I explain all about this. But basically, it has to do with the depth and the breadth of what the equipment is going to do. Just in short, the more stars it has, the deeper the stats are going to be. So like if the equipment, let's just click on one that, you know, makes a lot of sense here. Okay. So we're looking at this helmet here, and it gives a big HP boost at the top there. If you can see, it's 2,454. If we max it out, it's actually going to go up to 3,480. But because it is 5 stars, it's going to give a bigger HP boost than a 4-star legendary. Okay. Now, the legendary status of it means that it's giving more stats. Do you see how underneath the HP stat, it's also got defense, HP, accuracy, and critical damage stats as well? It comes with more stats. So if I go find a piece of this equipment that is a lower rarity, I'm going to scroll down here. This is a helmet. So epic, see how it only has 3 stats underneath the HP? And then if we click on rare, it's only got 2. So that's how those particular stats work. So don't ignore the equipment. Make sure to go watch my video on that for more about that. The 8th mistake that new players make is ascending the first epic hero they get. And this is actually a mistake that I made. I'll show you. It's with Scarlet here. Now, Scarlet's not a bad hero. I actually like Scarlet, and I've used her quite a bit, mainly because I did ascend her, and that does make her one of my more powerful heroes, so it makes sense to just use her. Plus, her abilities sometimes come in handy. However, she doesn't have the best abilities in the game. I kind of wish I didn't ascend her, because I would be able to ascend one of the other 4-star heroes I now have. So ascension is different from leveling. I don't mind that I leveled her. I'm perfectly happy that I leveled her. But ascension is different. If I click on ascension here, you can see that I can make her go from 5 stars to 6 stars at this point. But she was originally an epic hero. That means she was 4 stars. And I used 4-star cauldrons to turn her into a 5-star hero. You can also use other 4-star heroes to ascend a hero like Scarlet here. As you can tell, that's pretty resource intensive. You can't do this very often. So if you ascend the very first 4-star you get, then you might be out of luck whenever you get another one that's even better. So patience is key with ascension. You want to make sure that you're ascending the best heroes in the game. How do you know? Well, ask your guildmates. I know some guilds have discords and things like that, or they just chat. If you're not sure exactly which ones that you should ascend or what are the good heroes, ask people. Another way to know whether or not you should be ascending it is go into the alliance rankings for the global alliance rankings and check out the defense teams that they have, or the best heroes that they have on their teams. You're going to often see a pattern in which 3 and 4-star heroes are ascended all the way up to 5 or 6 stars. So that's key. You will get heroes in this game. Scrolls come along pretty often, and you might be disappointed at ascending the wrong kind of hero. And there's a lot of 3-star heroes that are better than 4-star heroes when you ascend them. So you don't automatically want to ascend a hero like Scarlet when there's other heroes like Alton, who's a 3-star hero. I'll go back and show you him. But it's probably actually better to ascend him than it is to ascend Scarlet because of his ability where he does defense down. And that is just one of the most powerful abilities in the game. So that is something to consider with that. So once again, I've given you 2 ways to make sure that you're ascending a quality hero. You have limited resources. Make sure that you only ascend a hero that you actually want to ascend. Okay, now I have clicked on the altar, and then I've clicked on the fusions tab, because the 9th mistake that new players make is procrastinating ascending heroes for fusions. Most of the heroes that you get for fusions, you get for free in the game, because you start out with these 3-star heroes that you level up, and then you can ascend into these 4-star heroes, and then you can use these 4-star heroes to fuse into Guinevere, this 5-star hero, which is a very, very good hero. And because you can get most of these for free just by playing the map, in particular, you can fuse into Ketra with these 2-star heroes you can see grayed out here. Most of these heroes you can just pick up on the map or through like bronze scrolls and stuff. So that's, pretty free. Once you do that fusion, you're well on your way. There's only a few heroes you need for fusion that you can only get through summoning. Usually 1 hero each. Like when I click on Premislav, there's 1 hero here that you can't get from the map. Most of these you can get just by grinding the map. But you don't want to procrastinate on these. This takes a while. So like if you're ever not training heroes that go into a fusion, you're doing something wrong. How I have done this is if I don't want to play with these heroes, like I've got some really good heroes now, I don't want to be running 3-star heroes on the campaign map. So what I do is I put them in the training camp here like this. And see, I've got a bunch of like 3-star heroes in here that I'm leveling up. and they just kind of level up as they go. You can constantly be doing this in the background. It's a really good way to do it. That way, when you get them maxed, you can then go into the altar, click on fusions, and I'm going to click on Guinevere, just pretending that I have all the heroes I need. I still have one I have to summon here, but I've got 3 ready to go, and I've got 1 more left I have to get. And once I have that 4th one and I've maxed it, then it's going to allow me to click that fusion button and create this 5-star hero. Obviously, that's good. But if you're not leveling the heroes that go into it, you're never going to get that 5-star hero, and it takes a while. So get on it. And lastly, the 10th mistake that new players make is creating attack and defense teams that don't have any synergy. You know, I already kind of talked about ascending the first 4-star hero that you get, possibly being a mistake. Not always, but, you know, sometimes. And I think sometimes what people do is after they summon, they get some 4 or even 5-star heroes that they just assume are better because they're higher level. And then they just kind of throw them together and run into the map and don't do as well, or their defense is not as good. What you need to do in this game is look for synergy among the specials. That's like the best thing you can do. It doesn't matter if they're 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. Look for the synergies among the specials, then level the heroes that are going to work together well. Let me show you one thing that I'm doing where I'm tailoring a team to what I've got going on with the Rift. I've already kind of given you a sneak peek that I'm doing this right now to get equipment for the event. But when I click on the highest level here and I click on engage, okay, this is the Phoenix Alpha. So this is the opponent that I'm facing. This is why you have to tailor your teams. Here is the special. Blazing Roar. Deals damage based on attack to all enemies. 100% chance to inflict burn for 3 turns, which is a status ailment. And then Rebirth. Upon death, Phoenix Alpha resurrects with 50% HP and casts Blazing Roar. But I want to show you when I click on Engage, there's 2 other support enemies there too. And I can't click on them, but what one of them does is basically makes that Phoenix immune to status ailments. So that makes it really tough to bring heroes that only do status ailments. I don't expect you to have memorized what all of these heroes do or know them because you probably are a new player if you're watching this, but I'm just going to point some things out here. I do have a hero in this lineup that has status ailments. In particular, Zarkon does defense down, and that's why he's so important to taking on this particular Phoenix at a high level. I need that Phoenix to have defense down so when my hitters hit it, they're doing a lot of damage. But he really doesn't do much direct damage. He does status ailment damage too through poison over time, which can be really, really powerful. But that other support opponent that they have can sometimes make that not work, you know, or even the defense down. So I need other heroes that are, first of all, going to deal a lot of direct damage, and also slow down the mana of all the opponents so that that status ailment protection doesn't come up, and also so I don't take the burn damage. So I need a couple of ways to try and protect myself from the Phoenix's burn damage. The first is through Premislav. I'm going to click on him because he deals damage to all the opponents based on attack, so I want him to have a high attack stat. But also he does mana choke, which means it's going to slow down their mana. Really, really super important. Also, when he takes damage, like, you know, I'll just put it this way. So I'll read the special to you. Recovers 5% HP whenever he kills an enemy, 20% chance to use his special ability whenever taking damage, right? So even if they do tile like gem damage, he could go off and choke their mana. Obviously, that's really important to slow them down. Tessix is another one that is helping to protect my team because he grants immunity and reflect. So now I can't take the burn damage that the Phoenix is dealing out, and they can only do like regular gem damage, especially if their mana is choked. So that's all getting reflect back to not just the Phoenix, but also the support enemies on the other side. And then lastly, on this particular team, I have a hitter, Gladiosa, who also silences opponents. So if I need to silence the Phoenix, I can. If I need to silence a support hero so it doesn't give immunity, I can do that as well. And then lastly, Zane, who's just absolutely insane as a hitter. Yep, Zane is insane. That's why I've turned him into a 5-star hero. But basically, he's just here to deal a ton of direct damage, which is what I was saying I needed. Because if they do get the immunity on the other side and I can't do defense down or, you know, my poison or things like that, or even the mana choke anymore, then at least I have Zane here to deal lots of damage. All right, now I talked extensively about how those synergies work together. Let me summarize. Zarkon first does defense down. Premislav slows them down and sometimes can fire his special just for being dealt direct damage. Tessix protects my team and grants reflect and heals a little bit too. I didn't mention that. Gladiosa silences the enemy and deals a lot of direct damage, and Zane just comes in and cleans up. Right? So this is how this particular team has synergy and good balance against this particular enemy. But you got to match what you're playing against. So when you go against the raid boss, it's going to be even different, right? This particular raid boss just deals a ton of direct damage, but doesn't do much else. So if I click on the team that I used against this particular raid boss, you're going to see it's very, very similar, except that I swapped Premislav out for Kusai. The reason I have Kusai in here is because, and let me go to my roster because it's not letting me open it up from there. The reason I have Kusai in here is because of her special. 100% chance to inflict decreased resistance, vulnerability, and poison on all enemies for 3 turns. So against the raid boss, that's important because the decreased resistance and vulnerability happens first, meaning that when Zarkon goes off, his stuff is now going to stick more. And she's got a second ability, gains 50 mana at the start of her turn, 25% chance to use her special ability twice. Between Kusai and Zarkon, they're just putting tons of status ailments on the raid boss. And what that means for me is that as the raid boss is then using its gems, it's just taking tons and tons of damage from that. The rest of the team is pretty similar. I have Tessix there, less for any kind of like status ailment prevention, but more for the reflect because of how much direct damage this particular raid boss does. It's kind of hitting itself in the face, which is important. And then Gladiosa to silence that particularly powerful special, and Zane again just to do insane amounts of damage. And then lastly, of course, there's the arena to consider. You've got to match your heroes. You're going to be changing your team probably, especially if you have a deep bench. You're going to be changing your team based on what defense you're facing. And then, of course, you got to set up a defense team as well. You can see that I'm using the same defense team as against the raid boss because I think it's a nice, well-balanced kind of deal here. You know, I've got 2 really big-time status ailment heroes. I've got 2 big-time hitters, and then I've got Tessix there to protect my team and heal them a little bit. And so that's really important. And then I've chosen a different dragon here because you can choose your dragon. This is the one that I've chosen for the arena. Deals damage to all enemies, 100% chance to inflict mana choke and heal block for 3 turns. This is just, I'm going more aggressive on defense here. But as you could see in the other, I didn't really point this out, but I'll point it out now. In the other formats like Raid Boss and Rift, I was using Nagash the Emerald Dragon, which heals because I needed, you're basically playing offense a little longer in those, so I need to be able to keep my heroes alive, so that's why. All right, so that is a lot about synergy, and even though I talked a lot, I'm just scratching the surface, so I plan to come out with more videos like this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please consider giving it a like, and if you want to see more videos like it, subscribe, hitting that bell notification so that you know when I drop more of these, and I will catch you in the next one.